to the University of Miami. A pleasant good evening, everyone. Dave Sims and Don Perno, good to have you with us. It's a battle of the first-place team, the Connecticut Huskies in the Big East, and the last-place team, the Miami Hurricanes. And we start talking about Connecticut. Of course, everything begins with Donyell Marshall. All-American year. Everything is just breaking beautifully for Donyell this year.
He's playing the entire game this season. I think what stands out most, you see his numbers, they're fantastic, but he says he's playing with such great confidence. He just believes in his game, he believes in himself, and he's really carrying the Huskies.
Jerome Shepard is a catalyst, too. He's a guy that is the guy who gets the ball to Donyell in the right places at the right time.
Well, I tell you, I don't think anyone sees the floor on the Huskies team as well as Jerome does. And the guy he finds most often is Donyell. He's the guy that makes everything happen. However, if you leave him bare, you'll pay a price because he can stick the three-pointer, and it's usually all net.
For the Miami Hurricanes, it's been another season of frustration. As we look at Shepard's numbers, they are outstanding, and he's an impact player thus far. No question about that. Miami Hurricanes, another frustrating season. Leonard Hamilton's done his job, recruited a fine bunch of players, but a lot of injuries have really wrecked their season.
Well, he's had key injuries to key people that are going to play a lot of playing time, Stephen Edwards in particular. And I think that's taken away the chemistry that he thought he'd have this year, Dave. You can't expect guys like Pope to respond when you don't have the outside game looking only to the inside. And I think that really hurt some of the problems, has been some of the problems they've had.
Constantine Pope will start at center tonight, but his minutes are down, only 22 minutes per game. He's joined by Steve Rich, who has a bad hand.
Exactly. He's a big guy. He's got great strength. Did have an excellent game against Connecticut up at Campo Pavilion, but he can shoot it. He can go to the hole well. It all depends on how that hand responds, but he's going to be very important this season.
While Connecticut comes into this game an overwhelming favorite, remember one thing. Last year in the game here at Miami, it was Miami winning by 15 points. We'll be back for the starting lineups and get things underway here at the Miami Arena. We'll do that after we take this time out. For these words from our local stations. To Miami Arena here in Miami, Florida. And now time for tonight's Nationwide Insurance starting lineups. Check the yellow pages for the Nationwide agent nearest you, who just might be Ed McMahon of Plainville, make that Plainville, Connecticut. Let's go to our PA announcer, Jay Rokish.
And a very pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Miami Arena for another exciting evening of Big East College basketball action. Tonight, your University of Miami Hurricanes entertain the visiting Huskies of the University of Connecticut. Here are the starting lineups tonight for the visiting Huskies of Connecticut. At the guard position, a 6'5" freshman from Ramat Epal, Israel, number 11, Jerome Shepard. At the other guard position, a 6'3" junior from Los Angeles, California, number 12, Kevin Ali. At the forward positions for the Huskies, a 6'6" junior from Federal Way, Washington, number 33, Donnie Marshall. At the other forward position, a 6'9" junior from Reading, Pennsylvania, number 42, Donyell Marshall. And at center, a 6'7" sophomore from Alexandria, Louisiana, number 45, Eric Haywood. And the head coach of the Huskies is Jim Calhoun. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here are the starting lineups for your University of Miami Hurricanes. At the guard positions, a 6'3" freshman from Loganville, Georgia, number 11, Toriva Corman. At the other guard position, a 5'9" freshman from Perth Amboy, New Jersey, number 20, Anthony Rosa. At the forward positions, a 6'9" sophomore from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, number 5, Steve Rich. At the other forward position, a 6'8" freshman from the Magic City of Miami, number 25, Alex Frazier. And at the center position, 7'3" junior from Bucharest, Romania, number 33, Konstantin Popa. And the head coach of the Hurricanes is Leonard Hamilton.
Leonard Hamilton, head coach of the Miami Hurricanes, and we're all set for action here, and we'll tip things off when we get back to the Miami Arena after these words from our local stations. Creek, one of the all-timers, Jerry West, the general manager of the LA Lakers, and he's here for a reason, you bet, to look at Donyell Marshall, who many in the college and pro ranks think will be leaving this level and moving to the big leagues next year.
Well, he's had a fantastic season, and he's got everyone excited, and obviously Mr. West is one of them.
Lakers need help. Connecticut gets first crack. The officials tonight, Tim Higgins, Dan Chrisman, and David Dodge. Sheffer wide open up top for three. Long, and the rebound to Rich.
Miami coming out playing aggressive man-to-man, a double screen for Daron Sheffer, and Jimmy Calhoun would like to see him put the ball up a little bit more this evening.
Torrey McCormick, Alex Frazier. Rosa, walk-on, third straight start, bangs a three.
Well, you talk about confidence. The little guy from New Jersey drills a three-pointer. He's been playing very well, believes he can play, and Lenny Hamlin put him in that lineup.
Inside, Hayward's going to kick it back out. Donnie Marshall up top, works his way, has it stolen. Here comes Frazier.
Nice hands by Frazier that time, picking up the steal. He's going all the way.
And he scores. Alex Frazier out of Monsignor Pace High School in Miami.
Well, this is the start that Jimmy Calhoun didn't want his club to get out to. You give Miami a little confidence in themselves, and they could be a headache.
Calhoun knows that all too well, having lost last year here at the arena. 80-65 jump hook. Barely gets rim for Donnie Marshall. That's Miami ball. So the Hurricanes, first minute and a half, pitching a shutout, Dom.
Well, that's the way they had to get out. Of course, they've been struggling, obviously, throughout the season with all the injuries we talked about, but they've got good size, and Popa and Rich.
Miami had the press beaten. Pass was late to Frazier. Konstantin Popa, 7'3", 235 out of Bucharest, Romania. Minutes are down this year. Had 10 points and 8 rebounds against Connecticut in the first matchup.
Well, he's got over 100 blocks in the Big East Conference. Last season, he had 7 games of 20 or better. That's one of the reasons, that little sky hook of his.
That hook, unstoppable. 7-0 for Miami.
Well, there's a little enthusiasm in this facility, and of course Connecticut has brought a throng of people down. Of course, Connecticut people that are in the Miami area. It's alive here.
Donyell Marshall with the stop, foul beforehand. Tim Higgins with the call. Fouls on Alex Frazier. Some numbers to chew on as we get into this game. Connecticut with a big scoring average, 81 points a game. That's first in the Big East, and Miami last in the conference.
And of course, Miami shooting 38% field goal percentage, and that's obviously one of the reasons they've been having some problems. Here's a little 2-2-1 press. Connecticut likes to catch at the half-court line with a trap. And Rosa and McCormick doing a good job of beating the pressure here.
Rosa to Frazier. Rich, Popa is there. Popa gathers and scores. 9-0 Miami.
Well, we talked about the size. There's nobody in the league that can contest that. That time a lob pass, he's over everyone.
Confidence building with the Miami club. Hurricanes 0-14 in the Big East thus far. Overplay, loose ball. Rosa had it. Huskies maintain control. Talking to Jim Calhoun this afternoon, he said this is a real difficult game because it's a different atmosphere here. It's not an on-campus facility. You're a couple thousand miles away from home. Exactly. Spectacular weather. So what did he do? He takes the club to Atlanta last night.
I know. He don't want to spend too much time in this area if he can help it.
Hayward with the rebound. McCormick takes it away from him. Sheffer takes it right back. Pushing foul. And they're going to get McCormick. McCormick saying, hey, Hayward pushed me. It was a chain reaction.
Second time. Guy that does the second time usually gets caught, but Miami has come out with some enthusiasm. You see the ball jumping around. No one can get a handle of it. McCormick steals, and Sheffer, known for his good mitts, picks up the steal, and a little bump by McCormick. And the Huskies have the rock again.
9-0 Miami. Approaching the 17-minute mark here at the Miami Arena. And you heard correctly, 9-0 Miami. Kevin Ollie to Sheffer. Daniel Marshall bids for three. Can't get it. Donnie Marshall runs it down. McCormick got a piece. Sheffer's there. Rosa got it. Throws it near us. McCormick. And Frazier runs it down. Everything breaking wreck for Miami.
Well, they're really working hard on the D. That time Rosa comes up with a big play, and Miami has the ball once again, and they feel very confident about themselves right now.
Connecticut fans still standing, waiting for the first point from the Huskies. McCormick missed it. Popa kept it alive, but fouled Donnie Marshall.
Oh, Donnie Marshall, excellent position on Popa. He pushed him away from the hoop, and the only thing Popa could do is go over his back.
Crowd here at Miami Arena. A little bigger crowd than normal. See the Husky fans have displaced Northeasterners and vacationers and everybody taking in the blue and white this evening.
Well, the problem you have, David, Jimmy Calhoun said it, these people are here on like a vacation. He's not here on a vacation. He knows this is an important contest for his team. And obviously Miami, who hasn't won a game in the Big East, has come out playing.
Fouls on Stevie Edwards and the whole bench standing up for Miami. Leonard Hamilton trying to shake that one off.
I'll tell you one thing about Leonard Hamilton. No matter what his team has done, he is up all the time.
Ho, 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 fellas.
The enthusiasm is overflowing right now. Pat Lawrence just came in the game, aggressive defensive player, trying to fight through a screen there, and he knocks Donnie Marshall to the floor.
Good job by the officials, David Dodge and Tim Higgins. Hey, guys, first warning, no problem. Nobody got hurt. Let's play hard, but let's cut the nonsense.
Exactly. And, of course, Miami right now, they feel it's flowing for them. They got out to a great start.
So the intensity, this looks like this is going to turn into a heck of a scrap before it's over, Don.
I know, exactly.
Daniel finally gets the Huskies on the board.
Well, he's the guy that usually does it for you. A little, puts it on the floor, one dribble, and goes over everyone and sticks the J.
Well, the Huskies finally scored the 16-16 mark. Well, traveling, Edwards turns it over.
Now, we talked about earlier why Miami has had a problem this season. Steve Edwards averaged 15.9 points a game last year. Had the knee problem, just can't get himself going. And those are all the little problems that mount up to be a major headache for Len's team.
Just under 16 minutes. Miami leading 9-2. Donnie Marshall got the three.
You know what comes with winning also, David, is a great feeling that you're always going to come back. They feel extremely confident about themselves, and that's been demonstrated early.
Allen went up for that rebound, but we'll keep it right here. Jim Calhoun, his 8th year, 6 straight postseason berths for the Huskies. Number 44, Jamal Johnson, just came in for the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes lead it 9-5. We'll be back after these messages. In the Big East Conference, Boston College at Pittsburgh. Panthers 6 of the last 8 against the Eagles. And how about the Wildcats? They've won 6 in a row, Dom.
That's a big game, I tell you, because Villanova's coming on strong. Steve Labus has turned that program around.
Good to have Jimmy Calhoun back on the bench. As you know, he missed some time with bacterial pneumonia. Lost about 15 pounds, not the way he wants to lose the LBS.
Yeah,
but
no, not at all. I tell you, I saw him this afternoon. He and his wife were walking around. He said, we know we're going to be in for a tough go tonight.
Here's Lawrence, Jamal Johnson. Inside, too strong. Lawrence sent back, but he recovers. Try it again, left hand with the flip. Hopa kept it alive. Daniel Marshall breaks out. Sheffer. For Connecticut, the Huskies down 9-5. Daniel bidding for 3. No, sir, not this time. And Edwards rips down the board.
Miami very active on their offensive board. In particular, Popa, Jamal Johnson, and Pat Lawrence.
Air ball for the walk-on Rosa. Ray Allen. Daniel. Look at this. Rosa Rosa took it away from Danielle Marshall.
Great positioning down there. Ray Allen figured that Danielle will go over everyone.
Jamal Johnson had a freebie, and it was contested by Travis Knight. The foul is on Travis. Can you believe that? Little Anthony Rosa in his third start, the walk-on.
It's amazing. You see Rosa, good position. He had the inside spot. Ray Allen figured, hey, Danielle will go over him, but the walk-on did it again. Just an excellent effort right here for Tony Rosa. Can't believe it.
I think if Allen had it to do over again, he'd lead him a heck of a lot higher.
I guess so, but I'll tell you what, he's come in playing. I think one of the reasons Leonard likes this guy is that he comes in playing, all barrels firing.
Jamal Johnson leading scorer for Miami, 1 of 2 at the line. William Davis, number 55 in the game. Ray Allen, boy, he's an instant offense. What a great year he is.
Freshman, premier freshman player from South Carolina. He just does it automatically.
10-5 Miami, 14:30 to go here in the first half. Miami had a 9-0 start before Connecticut got on the board. Sheffer, just about everybody got a piece of that one before Jamal Johnson brings it down.
Well, that was Ray Allen's shot. He loves that little 10, 12-foot jump shot.
Got to keep it here. Travis Knight called for the foul. He was denying a spot to William Davis. So Leonard Hamilton working his bench pretty good so far.
Yes, he's subbing early, and of course Connecticut makes you go. They press an awful lot. They're at you all the time. So the intensity of the game can wear people down, and Len's been putting people in and out much more frequently than I've seen him in the past.
Brian Fair in for Connecticut. You saw Alex Frazier come back for Miami.
Well, you talk about instant offense. Brian Fair comes in the game. 3 or 4 games, he's had 5 3-pointers. He can really shoot it.
A lot of contact on the floor tonight here.
Well, they are bad. Both teams playing aggressive man D. They're right at the ball all the time. And here's little Tony Rosa executing and running the O.
Letting them play. Travel. Second time. Turned over by Steve Edwards.
You just don't see the fluid movement that Stevens displayed last season.
Steve Edwards coming off an 18-point game against Seton Hall. 6 for 11 from 3-point range. Danielle posted. Davis rebound for Miami. Canes lead at 10-5. 13:48 to go first half.
Nice
Post up
slide.
inside. Johnson flipped it up. Danielle Marshall takes it down. Here comes Sheffer.
Oh, this is Sheffer's very fine. He finds open people.
Ryan Fair to jump is good for 3. And UConn right back in at 10-8.
Miami playing tough D, but Connecticut executing their O. Great steal here by Donnie Marshall, and Jamal Johnson gets a piece of it.
Donnie Marshall. Love to have a guy in your club like that, an aggravator, an intimidator.
He'll wear you down. He'll give you a little chatter, but he's great enthusiasm. He's into the game all the time. And Danielle, on the other hand, quiet leader. He just does it by displaying the J and the activity, but Donnie is really the holler guy on this UConn team.
Gotta have a guy like that. 10-8, Miami. Here's Fair, baseline. Ray Allen, too short, didn't stroke it at all. And he airballs from about 12. Edwards puts it to Rosa. Picked off. Boy, Allen read that one all the way. Rosa back to challenge. Up in the air. Sheffer's there. Sheffer puts it in.
Excellent follow. Of course, Ray Allen, great steal, excellent anticipation. Sheffer followed the play beautifully, picked off the missed shot, and Connecticut is right back in it.
Tied the game with a 10-2 run. Alex Frazier baseline, forcing, missing. Loose ball, who's got it? Miami ball. Check that, Connecticut ball. Connecticut ball.
Steve Lenham has to be pleased with his team's effort. They're active underneath both boards, forcing a couple of jump shots. They've had trouble offensively in the past.
So Steve Frazier, number 0, just came in. Leonard Hamilton getting all kinds of activity. Steve Rich in the game, number 5. 55 is William Davis. Steve Frazier 0. Pat Lawrence. And Tori McCormick Popa will come in at the next stop. Hayward, Ollie, Allen, Fair, and Danielle Marshall for the Huskies.
This is where Danielle is so strong. He can beat you underneath. He can come away and shoot three-pointers.
Fair inside. He got hit. He was fouled by Steve Frazier. Konstantin Popa back in the game. William Davis will take a seat.
Popa's showing a little bit more of the game he had in his sophomore season. He had an excellent sophomore year.
Ryan Fair at the line. Front rims the first. Ryan's a sports promotions major out of Phoenix, Arizona. Coming off a good year last year. 13 points, almost 4 rebounds, 42% from the field. Misses both. Danielle bails him out. Miami gets it. And now back to Connecticut.
Nice look underneath, and Popa, 7-3, tough to get over him. 2
sendbacks by Popa. Frazier to McCormick. We're tied at 10 here at the Miami Arena. 11:55 to go in the first half. Left-handed shot is good. That's Lawrence scoring for Miami.
Matt Lawrence, good lefty that time. Excellent execution by Miami.
Kevin Ollie. Trying to post up with Danielle Marshall. Rich is guarding him. Double team. Here's Hayward. Shot clock at 10.
Here's a Marshall, beats you inside. He takes you away off the dribble.
Beautiful.
Big move.
That was gorgeous.
All-American move right there. Just went to his left. We know he can go right that time. A little change of direction.
That was a big, big-time play. I think Jerry West might have put a star next to that one.
Then he marked down the time.
Steve Frazier, a bump by Fair. Jerry West, one of the all-time greats. You talk about NBA players that can do it at both ends of the floor.
You're telling me he can stick it too. I'll tell you, he is a great shooter. He still looks terrific.
He sure does, but you don't want to get him on the golf course. We're tied at 12. He's one of the best there, too. 10:59 to go, tied at 12. Back after these words from our local station. A scout row here at Miami. Jerry West, Ronnie Lester on the right. Ronnie, a great All-American at Iowa back in the early 80s. This copyrighted telecast is produced by authority of the Big East Conference and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Big East Conference is prohibited. Got a good one here at the Miami Arena. We're tied at 12. Miami went out to a 9-0 lead before Connecticut got on the board at the 16-16 mark. And the percentage is not real good early on.
And Connecticut's going to a 2-3 zone here for the first time this evening.
Inside is Rich on a nice dish from Frazier.
Miami moving the rock as well as they have all year. They've come out here and they really play. You never know what the records of these two teams are at this point in the game.
Hayward from straight away ties the score at 14. Eric Hayward, 38% from the field.
Not known for the outside jump shot, but Popa playing under the hoop, and Hayward said, hey, give me that daylight, and I'm going to stick it.
What do you think of this press by the Huskies?
McCormick, only a freshman, logs a lot of minutes for Miami, but sees the floor very well. He's got good patience against the pressure.
Entry pass,
nice.
A nice one. Rich couldn't finish it.
That was a great block that time. Excellent entry pass, but the Huskies respond.
Marshall studying. Sheffer will reset. Sheffer, Ollie, Hayward, Danielle Marshall, and Ray Allen for the Huskies right now. 14 all, 9:45 to go first half. Ollie, yeah, he did.
Travel,
yes,
yep.
he did.
Call. Yep.
Donnie Marshall checking back in for the Huskies. Ray Allen will take a seat.
Jimmy Calhoun, he'll usher people in and out all night also, so he's going to keep going at you. Likes the 2-2-1 press. Miami doing an excellent job in distributing the ball.
Pat Lawrence, way long. Rebound, Danielle Marshall. Huskies break out 3-on-3.
This is what he likes. He's got 3 people in front of him.
Hayward giving the shot. Two terrific guys running the show right now, Sheffer and Ali. That's a good combination.
It certainly is, and of course they complement one another very well. Sheffer, of course, can be the two guard. He sticks the three-pointer at will.
Good look by Sheffer. Hayward's there. He's fouled and counting.
We talked about in the open. Sheffer finds open people. Gives the ball up to Hayward. Nice pump fake. Take a look at left hand. He looks as if he's going to the hole, but he finds Eric Hayward down low. Good pump fake. Steadies himself, and he's got great strength to finish it off.
Second foul on Popa. William Davis back in for Miami.
Leonard Hammond pleased with the play of William Davis. Of course, Popa with 2 fouls is going to get him out, but Davis has played well in the last 4 or 5 ball games.
So first lead for the Huskies, 16-14. Davis with the spin, a little short. All kinds of banging going on, and Sheffer holds his hand up.
Looks like Stevie Rich is fouled. Daron Sheffer going after the bound, and of course he's a good-sized guard also. He's 6'4", good body on him, good strength. You see Tony Rosa coming back into the ball game.
Travis Knight also back in for Connecticut. What do you look for from Miami at this point here, Don?
Well, they're having pretty good success getting the ball inside. Of course, Connecticut with a 2-3 zone. They're going to take their time. They haven't been looking for the outside shot all that much. They're sealing down low and doing a pretty good job of it.
Wow, Donnie Marshall went flying. He got creamed by William Davis. Donnie took about a 7 or 8 foot skid.
Davis got about 8 inches on Donnie, but Donnie is so active. He really becomes a pest under there, and Davis, not happy with his movement, gave him a little push.
7-footer picks up his first foul. Team foul number 8 for the Hurricanes. Huskies have 5. Bonus situation for Donnie. Really emerged as an offensive threat this year, up to 49% from the field. Averaging 12.3 points per ball game. Last year, almost 8 points a ball game.
Well, he's an excellent foul shooter also, and he's always he's active on both ends of the floor. That's why Jimmy Kellum loves to have him in the ball game.
Biggest lead for the Huskies, 4 points.
Well, Connecticut keeps coming at you, Dave, and they wear you out. You really have to keep your composure. Can't panic. There's a great trap down low.
Here's Rich. Rolls it in, and the contact is fierce under the basket. For Rich, he's got 4 points.
Of course, the transfer from Wake Forest comes here with good numbers at the bad hand right now, but that time got a little bounce.
Daniel Marshall. 7:45 to go here in the first half. Daniel, long range, not this time. Donnie with the rebound. Oh, almost picked off by McCormick. Ali with a freebie. Got it.
Ali not known for his shooting, but if you forget him, you pay a price usually. He's usually a guy that's going to take it to the hole. He's got excellent quickness, but that time he drills a 12-footer.
First bucket for Kevin Ali, 2016 Huskies.
It's a 1-3-1 set.
Found Rich. Rich couldn't put it away. He was right there. That hand injury. Leonard Hamilton has bemoaned that all year. Donnie Marshall rejected. And Rosa takes control for Miami.
Good break for Connecticut. Miami responds, and nice idea by Tony Rosa. Good effort on both boards. Offensively, they're hitting the Rockets. Nothing's going to the hoop easily.
It's been that kind of year for the Huskies. Make that for the Hurricanes. It's 2016 Connecticut. We'll return to Miami Arena after these messages. Time for our MCI proof positive replay. Having a good shot blocker can really change a play in a hurry, like Steve Rich did.
Exactly, and of course Connecticut loves to run the ball and push it at you, and Steve Rich displays his ability to get to the rock.
Connecticut leading 20-16. There's the run over the last 9 and change. Huskies were down 9-0 to start this game.
Well, Connecticut's got a lot of answers, and this young guy with the ball is one of them.
Force by Fair. Knight rebound and throws it away right to Jamal Johnson.
A little too quick with that pass. Good rebound by Travis.
Johnson right down the middle. Block. Great block by Danielle Marshall. Johnson was going to hammer that one home.
That was almost down in the bucket.
Fair. Donnie Marshall puts it in. And the Huskies on the run. What a block.
A great block that stimulated the O, and Connecticut, when they're at their best, they're running it right at you.
Jamal Johnson, 6'7", 220. That's impressive by Danielle Marshall. Edwards, quick pop. No, Danielle with the rebound behind his back. And he'll settle.
And what Miami doesn't want to do, they're right in the ball game. You don't want the quick shot because Connecticut will take it and they'll run it right at you.
Donnie Marshall, Knight pops out.
Travis Knight can stick the 14, 15-footer, and this guy can stick the three-pointer.
A little long for Sheffer. Edwards with the rebound for Miami. Anthony Rosa, the walk-on. William Davis. Rosa eludes Donnie Marshall, misses, and the rebound to Danielle Marshall. Home run ball to Donnie. Donnie with the travel before the contact. But a good-looking flick of the wrist by Danielle Marshall.
Well, he can even outlet that baseball pass. Got that down the floor quickly.
Does he have a future in baseball?
He may have. Michael's at it right now.
Put him in for late-inning defensive purposes. Keep him close to the fence.
You know, it's interesting because they were talking about Danielle. How'd you get this good so quick? He said, well, it isn't the weights. It wasn't this, that. It was just confidence in his game.
Hopa hounded by Knight. Frazier, pull up. Not pretty. Sheffer, rebound, an easy one for Danielle, and the foul. Oh, brother. That's an intentional. That's a silly foul by Steve Edwards.
I think we opened the show with that move. Daron Shefford sees the floor as well as anyone in the league, and Danielle Marshall gets down the floor probably better than anyone in the league.
Danielle Marshall is really impacting on this game. Watch this block.
It's unbelievable. That's almost in the hoop. Danielle responds, comes up with the ball, and here he goes. Handles, finds open people. Watch Donnie. Bingo. Finishes it off.
That was one silly foul by Steve Edwards. That's guy 6'9", right in the cylinder practically. You can give up. You can afford to give up the 2 points. Now you give up a chance to reduce here and plus possession.
Exactly. Well, they caught a break right there, but what Miami has to do is try to control the ball game, and you control it on the offensive end.
Danielle really studied. 1 out of 2. Tom, take another look with Sheffer starting this play.
Well, Sheffer sees the floor. We talked about it as well as anyone. You see Danielle going in for the jam, and of course, Stephen Edwards comes under, grabs him, intentional foul. Connecticut has the ball back again.
And he was allowed to hold on to the rim there to prevent an injury, so that's well within the rules. 23-16 Connecticut.
Miami doing a decent job defensively. Where they've been hurt is on the offensive end.
Give a traveling call, so Danielle Marshall turns it over.
You see Jimmy calling out the defensive pressure. They really like this 2-2-1 press. They'll let you get down to the half, and then they'll clamp it. Careless with the ball, and you pay a price.
Right now, Miami does not have a true point guard on the floor. McCormick is a 2-guard, as is Steve Edwards. And McCormick spent most of this year running the show. Pat Lawrence, whistle off the ball.
As Jamal Johnson was down inside setting the screen. I thought they were going to call a 3-second call on him. He was hanging down low, but foul call on King.
King's foul, his first, Kurt King.
Well, you can see a little elbow to the throat, and you see Jamal Johnson. He's setting the screen inside for Popa down low. Little elbow, foul is called.
Out of bounds and turnover.
And those are the types of plays you see Popa coming down the floor that have hurt Miami all season. They're in the ball game. They just can't capitalize. They had a 9-0 lead. They've been on 16 for a long while.
That's right. 3 minutes and change. Johnson harassing Donnie Marshall. King, Ali, Danielle Marshall. Jump hook, tip is good by Kirk King.
Kirk King got great leaping ability. That time displayed it. Half a hook by Danielle, missed, but King right there with the follow.
Connecticut putting on some pressure and starting to dominate here. It's 25-16. Another foul away from the ball. I believe it was King again.
King following Pope, and of course Pope is tough to get. You may as well play behind him. Tough to get around him. He's so long. You get in front of him, they're going to throw the lob.
King, 2 quick fouls, draws some pine.
You see the bodies bang, and King pretty good position, but of course to get around the long reach of Popa, you got to grab him, hold him. That time he was caught.
King pleading the case that why do I have to eat one of his elbows
Exactly.
and not be able to give something back? Popa.
Isn't that the truth?
Good from the line with his first. Constantine, not bad from the line. A lot of big guys struggle, but he's at 70%.
Well, you take a look at his field goal percentage, 35, and that's hard to believe because most of the shots he's taken are underneath. But of course, not much outside shooting by Miami this year, and consequently, people are going at the big fella down low.
You bet. He was at 53% last year. That's a tremendous fall off. Connecticut starting to dominate here at the Miami Arena. Huskies lead it 25-18, 3:42. We're back after these messages. 25-18. Connecticut leading the Miami Hurricanes here at the Miami Arena. The block by Popa. Hayward recovers, though. Gives it to Danielle. He was bodied out. And rebound to Jamal Johnson.
Miami, good size inside. Of course, Popa, 7'3", makes anything difficult.
Steve Edwards tried to drop pass. It didn't work. Danielle Marshall right back.
Danielle does a good job when he's moving the ball to the floor. He finds open people well.
Sheffer up top, resets. Coming up on 3 minutes to go, first half.
Sheffer does an excellent job in controlling the team. Sets them up. Excellent floor general.
Takes a look at the shot clock. Allen fires and got the line drive 3.
He's made a bundle of them this year. Seems like the tougher the shot, the better shooter he becomes.
Biggest lead of the evening. Inside, 2:40 to go. Steve Edwards turned the ball over earlier in the half with a couple of traveling violations. Has not really been looking to shoot it. McCormick rips it up there and pulled down by Donnie Marshall. Outlet to Danielle. He's got numbers. Gives it to Allen. Miss, and the rebound to Popa. A couple of beats too late on that. He had Allen.
He did. He really, but Marshall really gets out on the fast break.
Jamal Johnson. Lawrence. That's short, and Sheffer comes down with it. Fought off by Johnson. Sheffer can't believe it. Edwards, 4-3, in the air, no good. Everybody going for that one. Johnson muscles, misses. He's right at the basket. Connecticut breaks out with Danielle Marshall. He's got Sheffer left side. Sheffer picked off by McCormick. Back and forth we go.
What's amazing, Miami's had the opportunities. They just haven't been able to finish them off. Here's another
Johnson right there, rattle it home. Marshall challenged by Popa. Shake and go, the flip, the foul.
A little bit of the versatility of Danielle Marshall going against a 7'3" Constantine Popa at that time. Just sidestepped him. Goes to the left side and is fouled. That's his third foul. He's going to have to get some pine time now.
Boy, got a little ragged there. Jamal Johnson had 2 good shots. Couldn't finish it off. Third foul on Popa. So he's done for the half with 1:31 to go as Alex Frazier comes back in.
Well, Miami they're holding their own on the defensive end. They just can't finish it off on the offensive end of the floor. They've had good opportunities, but of course, Danielle Marshall, always a constant that he could come out of the woodwork and put it into the crowd.
5 points, 8 rebounds for Danielle. A tough night at the line.
Highly unusual for him because we can remember that St. John's game when he had 20 in a row.
That's right. Whew. First in the Big East. Pretty safe to say first team All-American, too. Wasted trip. Davis rebound for Miami.
Nice bound by Davis. Good inside position, of course. Extends those elbows. Miami another opportunity.
Miami led 9-0 to start the game. Frazier forces. Tip, no good. Rich is there. He got hit. Do they count it? No, sir. Call a foul before.
Rich, Jamal Johnson, and Davis, they attack the offensive boards well. And Connecticut battles with anyone underneath, but Miami going up strong. Looks as if Rich drew the foul, but the official called it.
Foul is on Hayward.
The ground. Certainly looked like it was not bad. Yes, it did. It certainly did.
Rudy Johnson just came in for Connecticut. Steve Rich at the line. This is the first. Frazier, rebound. No. Boy, they've had a lot of shots right at the basket.
Tough one, that great rebound over everyone, but Miami just can't finish it off.
It's gonna be an ugly shot chart when you see all the opportunities. Final minute, first half. 10-point lead for the Huskies, 28-18. Allen, quick pop off the turn, no. Hayward had it, stepped out of bounds. They turn it right back over.
Well, neither team can really get into any offensive flow right now. Miami, number of good opportunities, can't finish it off. Connecticut's defense has hounded them, and that's what keeps them in ball games, gives them the lead until they can run off a string of good hoops.
Barely got it over. Barely got it over in a 10-second violation.
That was close.
Clock winding down. Frazier loses. Allen knocked. Oh, and Miami gets it right back. Frazier challenging. Didn't have numbers on his side. Final 20 seconds, and Connecticut up by 10 with the final shot.
That is not the type of offense that Leonard Hamilton wants. Obviously, you need execution. Try to get it to your big people. You can't force it.
Kevin Ollie forces. Davis. And that will do it for the first half. So Connecticut down 9-0 in the first minutes. Come back to dominate and lead at the half by the score of 28-18 here at the Miami Arena. We'll return with our halftime festivities after we take this timeout. Miami Arena, everybody. Dave Sims, and there's John McDonough telling everybody to get out. The boys in the truck outside here in Miami Arena. Dave Sims and Don Perno, good to have you back with us. Tell you what, 10-point lead for Connecticut, and Jim Calhoun probably is as uneasy as he has been at any stage of the season with this lead.
Well, he knew this coming out, that this would be a headache, this game. Neither of the teams are putting the ball in the basket, despite having many easy layups.
It's remarkable. We did look at the shot chart. We'll show you that a little bit later, but here's Rich Rosa. He got Tony Rosa, rather. His hustle exemplified the early play in the 9-0 lead for Miami.
Exactly, Dave. 5'9" against 6'9", and here you see Daron Shepard doing what he does best. Find the open man. Excellent pump fake by Hayward down low. Goes to the line to finish off a three-pointer.
Look at that block by Danielle Marshall. Boy, talk about impacting on the game.
Woo, that's why he's an All-American. That was down in the hoop. He finds the open man. Missed shot, but Donnie Marshall does what he does best. He finds the rock, finishes it off for Connecticut.
And here's a play that says it all for Miami. They missed 14 shots right at the basket. Look at this.
Great offensive bound. Good Borstrom, but they just can't find the spot to finish it off.
And we talked about the shot chart. You see all those numbers right under the basket. The ones that are not circled, those are the misses by both clubs. It's been that type of night. Take a look at some of the numbers. Both teams did not shoot well, to say the least. 33% for Connecticut, 22% for Miami.
That's amazing, I'll tell you the truth. And Miami just down 10. Of course, free throws, Miami shooting 60%, Connecticut not well. I think the relentless pressure of Connecticut has really given them this lead of 10 points.
Second chance points, Connecticut dominating there with 8. Miami still trying to get things together there. Danielle Marshall has 5 points. Donnie Marshall with 7. And for Miami, their top scorer is Konstantin Popa. He's in foul trouble with 3. Look out, Miami. There's a new Marshall in town.
There's 2 of them here tonight.
You bet. Miami takes control to start the second half.
Tony Rosa, a walk-on. We talked about him earlier, directing the traffic. Got great enthusiasm and excellent leadership qualities to run this team. This is the kind of patience there I think Miami has to display. They got to take their time, turn it over, make Connecticut play D for a long time period. Don't just force it up.
And a turnover by McCormick. A lead to Donnie Marshall. Gets a freebie, shoots over Rosa and buries it.
It all began with excellent hands by Daron Sheffer, finding Donnie down the floor.
Connecticut pressure. And Rosa, Frazier, cross court now to McCormick. Rich out of his range. McCormick lets her rip, and he's got the 3. Big shot. 30-21, Connecticut.
That was a big shot, Dave. Connecticut had it to 12. They bring it back to 9, and they were inching away. Miami sticks a big 3.
Donnell Marshall penetrates and scores using the glass. 32-21. He's got 7.
Well, I think Jimmy Calhoun must have said to him, go to the hoop. Never mind pulling up for the jump shot. Here's that relentless pressure taking its effect on Miami.
Good pass by McCormick, and Frazier was thinking a play ahead and didn't bring the ball with him. 32-21, Huskies. First minute and a half of play here in the second half. Dave Sims and Dom Perna with you at the Miami Arena.
Miami sticking with their man-to-man D. It was aggressive, and Donnell going away from the hole.
Rich had it, lost it. Hayward for Connecticut. Get a new clock. Donnie Marshall lets her rip it. Oh, it went in. It came out.
Donnie checked out where he was. Be sure he was behind that 3-point arc. Stuck it. Not quite there.
Wilson, Frazier in the backcourt, along with McCormick. Popa down low with Rich, and McCormick turns it over again.
Shepard's got great hands defensively, and of course that's what he does very, very well. Find the open guy, but Donnie left his feet too early. Offensive charge.
How about little Rosa? Tony Rosa stood in there, took the charge. Donnie Marshall picks up his first foul. Tony Rosa's 5'9". Donnie Marshall 6'6", 225.
Guts and determination.
Rosa gets it back to McCormick. 32-21, Connecticut. Pat Lawrence has come in. Pope is right there with a big lefty hook. Is good.
Wow. Almost looked as if he took that NBA step. Gets the lefty to go.
8 for Pope. A block shot for Rich. Miami takes over.
They've got numbers here.
McCormick pulls up. A little short. Loose ball. Who's going to get it? Rich has got it. Can't use the glass. A tip, no good. Connecticut will break out.
That's where Miami had problems in the first half. They got to the hoop, just couldn't finish it off. That time you couldn't ask for anything more. Great offensive board. Can't make a layup.
Good play by McCormick to stop that break opportunity for Connecticut. Somebody put a top on this thing.
Boy, certainly 1 tip, 2 tips, 3 tips. You can't, it's got to fall for you. And of course, Daron Sheffer finds the ball, really attacks the hoop with it.
Another one of the walk-ons. Chris Parker comes in for Miami, number 15. Donnie Marshall left alone. Long. Ollie runs it down. Ollie to Hayward. Got away with the step. Beat Pope on the shot. Nicely done.
He fought that one right through the arms of Konstantin. Good, strong effort by Hayward.
Trouble again. Ollie's in. Ollie scores. So that pressure.
Len needs a timeout, I think, right here.
Really doing a number on Miami. 36-23. Rosa trap. Here's Chris Parker, dribbled right to the corner, caught timeout. Biggest lead of the evening. 36-23, 13-point margin for the Huskies of Connecticut. Take a timeout and get back to Miami Arena right after these messages. The biggest lead of the evening, 13 points early on here in the second half at Miami Arena. Other action around the Big East this evening. Pittsburgh, which has done a good job, 6 of the last 8 against BC, up a point. Final stages of the first half at Pittsburgh. And Georgetown of Villanova at the Spectrum in Philly. Georgetown leads it by 2, 18-16. And that is a very low score, 3:50 to go first half.
Defensive battle. Well, Connecticut has stretched their lead to 13 primarily off their defense, Dave. They've really been active.
Lefty hook. Pope is good. Second time with that shot. Pope has got 10 points.
Well, Pope played that way as a sophomore. Tonight he's exemplifying why he scored. Here's Sheffer.
With room, Pope rebound.
Constantine playing with the attitude that he had last season.
A walk-on guard, just steal by Hayward. Pope should finish and does. Right back, Danielle Marshall. Oh, all kinds of crash and burn there.
Looked as if someone might have got the hand on that backboard. Good timeout by Len Hamilton. His team has come right back.
Popa doesn't realize it. Marshall's behind him. Dumped down. Hayward got a piece. Nicely done. Ollie right back for Connecticut.
Ollie really puts pressure on the D.
Got Shefford sent back with the block first on Parker. Boy, have been some collisions here tonight.
I'll tell you what, under those boards, you got to be out. Kevin Ollie does this as well as anyone. He puts pressure on the defensive team that kept back, and you see Popa coming out of nowhere, and Sheffer, knowing the game, said that's a good hoop. I tell you, it was close.
Sheffer wanted that in the book.
But Kevin Ollie really, he has great speed, but he just attacks the defense. And if you don't get back, you're in a jam.
Daron Sheffer will be at the line. Having a terrific year. His assist turnover ratio is marvelous. 70 assists, 33 turnovers coming into the game tonight.
Well, he really protects the ball, and he really can be a second guard because he can shoot it, but he's so unselfish that Jimmy Calhoun had to say to him, hey, you got to put the rock up once in a while. That's unusual when you have to tell someone that.
Great stroke, 71% from the line. Brian Fair comes in for the Huskies, replacing Sheffer. Here's the UConn pressure again in the backcourt. Steve Frazier, McCormick to Rich. They don't have a real true point guard out there now for Miami.
Not at all. When they beat the pressure.
Frazier got that one. He was automatic with that shot in high school.
He was. He's a great player coming out of high school. And of course, he went to St. Thomas More in Connecticut. But once again, the knee injury has really curtailed his ability to move the way he did when he had the good wheels.
Travis Knight. Kevin Ollie guarded by McCormick. Pop out for Danielle. Takes it to the baseline and scores.
Well, that was a great screen by Travis Knight that time for Danielle. All he needs is a little daylight. Drills the J.
9 for Danielle Marshall. Danielle averaging 27 points a game.
Well, it was interesting. The first game, Danielle didn't make a hoop until about 20 minutes into the ball game.
A runner by Lawrence, who runs it down. Miami gets a new clock. Frazier in the air. No. Oh. Kept alive, and Fair takes over for the Huskies. Fair, right at Popa, right to the basket. And it hit underneath and out of bounds. And Jimmy Calhoun pleading for some help. He's not getting anything. He's saying, hey,
someone blocked it. Exactly. Someone blocked it. They hit it. Let's take a look. Brian Fair usually pulls up for the J. This time finds an alley, goes under, and they say, whoa.
Hit underneath.
Actually, it looked like they had a pot of his hand.
Yeah. Could have gone one of 3 ways with that one. Block, foul,
that's right.
Or it hit underneath, which they went with the latter.
Take your choice. Exactly.
40-29 Huskies.
Well, they've had trouble getting inbounds and finding open people.
Jamal Johnson brings it across for the Hurricanes.
The problem with Miami is they don't have the true point guard to execute beating the pressure, and that's causing some problems. Good inside position by Jamal Johnson.
Take it back outside to McCormick. 17 on the shot clock. Steve Frazier, his nickname used to be Radar. Donnie Marshall saw that one all the way, knocked it out of bounds.
Donnie, great job on his inside defense. Good hands moving around the people. Miami just didn't have good balance offensively that time. Too many people in one area, but attribute Connecticut's D.
Lawrence way outside. No. Knight with the rebound. Great position. Ollie. He's got Danielle down there. Gives to Donnie. Finishing. Went for the power jam. He didn't get it. Ollie. Kick it out to Fair. Nice shake. Oh, he got him on the travel. Looked like a nice shake move to go back to the baseline, and he turns it over.
Of course, Brian Fair loves the three-pointer. Tonight, exemplifying he can go to the hole.
McCormick dribbled right into the trap. Here's Johnson. And take it all the way in. Got it blocked, but a foul. Danielle Marshall with the shove.
Both teams attacking that basket that time. Travis Knight picks up the foul.
So the third on Travis Knight. A break for the Huskies. Danielle was right there, but Knight picks up the foul. Ray Allen back in, number 34. Danielle takes a seat. For Miami, Popa replaces William Davis. And here's Sheffer. Kevin Ollie will get a blow. Jamal Johnson, leading scorer for the Miami Hurricanes. He does it coming off the bench, just over 9 a game. That's where he struggles at the line, 55%.
And that's a tough spot for him to be in because he's great going to the hole. He's going to draw fouls. He's got to make the foul shots. This time misses a couple. Connecticut comes out. Another rebound.
Wasted trip. 40-29 Huskies. Allen, Donnie Marshall trying to set a pick. Sheffer was looking the other way.
Knight does a good job in setting screens for people down low.
Popa knocks it free. Allen with plenty of time in the shot clock. Sheffer. Here's Fair. Quick pull, yes. He's got 5.
Best ball moving by Connecticut this evening. Taking their time, finding the open man, and Brian Fair drills it.
Lawrence,
nice
look away, nicely done. Popa. 42-31. Allen right back. Nowhere to go, finds Fair. The jumper is good for 3. Brian Fair with a big shot.
Big hoop for Connecticut, and Brian Fair coming off the bench once again, and he's done many times for Connecticut.
8 points for Brian Fair. The lead is 14, biggest of the night. Miami pressing. Just under 12 minutes to go here at the Miami Arena. Jamal Johnson, force, short, rebound, Donnie Marshall. He's got Sheffer in the middle. Takes it all the way to the hole and scores. Donnie Marshall, coast to coast.
Great move by Donnie Marshall. Good board strength. He's probably the most improved player on that team. Does an awful lot for the Huskies.
Donnie Marshall with the 11. Donnie, the leading scorer tonight with 11. Foul off the ball.
Travis Knight picks up his 4th foul. He can't believe he's not just battling for position down low. Let us bang a little.
4th foul on Travis. Donnie Marshall takes a seat. Danielle back in. Got a timeout on the floor. 11:20 to go. Huskies enjoying a 47-31 lead. Back to Miami Arena after these words from our local stations. MCI proof positive replay time, Dom, and Donnie Marshall shows the ability to carry it end to end.
Coast to coast. Off the read, demonstrates a little skill keeping that ball in tight away from the D, finishes it off, and it's proof that if you rebound hard, you might get the ball the other end of the floor. But Donnie Marshall, we talked about him, most improved player, Mr. Excitement.
Leading scorer tonight with 11 points, Donnie Marshall. And the Huskies lead by 16. Anthony Rosa back in for Miami. Edwards has been silent tonight. Chris Parker.
The defense of Connecticut has really been out on Miami, and to make them, they've gotten some good shots, but they've made them rush them.
Rich got mugged inside. Sheffer picked up that foul, and the numbers tonight Popa, better percentage, better points.
Very interesting. Of course, we talked about the first game where Danielle had a slow start also against Miami.
There's Popa, knocked away by Danielle. The fact that Danielle's not shooting and scoring well, I don't think that'll adversely change Jerry West's opinion of him.
I don't think so. Of course, that time you saw great help side D by Danielle. He plays the entire game, both offensively and defensively.
Pushing that entry there in the 5 seconds. Rosa. 47-31. Foul off the ball.
Might have been Willingham that time pushing Popa down low.
And then Temba Willingham picks up the foul, his second. As soon as he hit him, he knew he was done.
And Jimmy's saying you got to get around him. You got to either play behind him or get on the side of him. You can't bump him from the rear with the official right there. Ooh, that almost was 5 again. They're looking for Popa down low.
Popa having a good night going against King. Running hook. Got rim. Rich is there. Rich scores.
Had a little help, too, from Ray Allen behind them, but Miami has done really an excellent job in the offensive board.
Quick stroke by Fair. Runs down his own rebound. Allen with room. Got it. Good looking. Follow through it to Deuce.
Exactly, and that's his shot. He loves to put the ball on the floor, go to it, extends extremely well.
5 points for Allen. Parker. Haddish. An opportunity. The crowd said, put it up. You're down 49-33. Rosa will take a shot. Popa kept it alive, but Danielle Marshall comes down with the rebound.
Well, Rosa does probably as good a job as anyone running the offense for Miami, but that time, quick shot, not a good shot for them.
Sheffer. Entry pass knocked away. Miami takes control. Parker looking for help. Edwards. Fouled before the block by Allen. First foul on Ray.
Well, you can see where the difference in Stevie Edwards. Last year he can get by that man. Tonight he cannot.
BC up by 4 on Pittsburgh on the road. Their action.
They're coming off a great win over Syracuse.
Villanova going for its 7th straight win. Not a lot of scoring there, and that game being played at the Spectrum in Philadelphia.
And Villanova always gives Georgetown a hard time at the Spectrum for some reason.
It's tradition in the Big East, no question about it.
Of course, right now they've run off 6 in a row, Villanova has, and they're feeling pretty good about themselves.
They're thinking NCAA tournament, too. Popa inside the hook is good. Boy, he's got that one down tonight.
Can't get to that one. Here you see Sheffrey. That's what he does as well as anyone. Finds the open man, in particular Danielle. A little long.
Trying to break right back. Sheffer turns it over. Eric Hayward comes in for the Huskies, replacing Chris King. Popa's got 16 points and looking good tonight. Popa shooting 7 for 9 from the field.
Jerry West might say, hey, here's a big guy we better take another look at also. Popa 7-3. He makes his hands get on a lot of ball.
It's interesting watching him trying to work free, too. Rich with the turnaround, and the rim is good.
Nice seal that time, and once again, Tony Rosa, excellent entry pass away from the D.
8 points for Rich. Donnie Marshall finds Sheffer into the lane. Drop to Donnie. Is no good. Tip. Kept alive. Rich had it. He fell down on that bad hand. And his nightmare continues. And now Tim Higgins going to reverse his call.
Timmy knew it. That's why he's one of the best in the league. He caught it right away. You see the activity. Donnie Marshall going up, and hey, we're going over Popa's head, but here it is. It looked as if it might have been off Sheffer. That's what Timmy Higgins saw, but it was off Miami.
Donnie Marshall trying to create a hold before. And it's on Steve Rich, number 5. For Miami, that's team foul number 3. The Huskies have 6. Danielle turns, faces, and fires, and he got hit.
Got on the wrist that time.
Wow, Steve Edwards just got teed up as he was getting up. He must have said a couple of magic words as he was rolling over on his back. We saw him get a technical back at the St. John's game at Alumni Hall a few weeks ago. Third foul on Edwards.
I think what's happened with Stevie, he's frustrated. He can't get to where he was last year for whatever the reason. That time, they did foul Danielle. Apparently, he must have said something. And Len is talking to him right now.
Talking to Leonard Hamilton this afternoon, he said, this has been nothing but frustration for him this entire season. He said, you know, coming in, he didn't realize how inexperienced his ball club was. He had 8 new kids, 8 kids who didn't even play Division I game coming into this season, and 6 of them freshmen.
And actually, right now, when you saw him talking to Tony Rosa, Tony is as stable a guy at the point guard as he has, and he's just a walk-on, so you can understand the frustrations he's going through. But I'll tell you what, he is a battler. He's done it at every place he's been. At Oklahoma State, he turned that program around. Postseason tournament, a couple of years in succession.
Daniel Marshall, 3 for 6 at the line tonight. The other interesting point that in our conversation with Leonard is talking about, he has all these big name players who come down here and gotten injured, and he's frustrated, they're frustrated. It just grows incrementally.
Exactly, and that's what beats you down. It's tough to overcome.
He said, hey, if Edwards, Frazier, and Rich were all healthy, he says, I don't know where we'd be in the Big East race, but we darn sure wouldn't be in last place.
Exactly. Well, they exemplified that last season. They had 7 wins in the conference with healthy people doing it. Nice move by
Danielle, shaking free. Yes, indeed. That is a PRO move.
Little head fake to the left, one dribble, and he drills it.
15 for Danielle. (55-37), another turnover. Shepard looking to convert, gives it to Danielle, and he does it on the angle. Those long arms, they can find the room.
Found the glass that time, and Shepard, once again, he has a great feel for the rock, and Leonard has seen enough.
Well, he should. A 20-point bulge. 8:03 to go. The Connecticut fans at Miami Arena are loving it. We'll be back right after these words from our local station. With you from the Miami Arena tonight, and the Huskies have opened up a 20-point lead, and the cover man himself, Danielle Marshall, getting it done the last couple of minutes. 8 straight points, Dom.
Well, he had 9 until a few minutes ago, but I'll tell you, take a look. He's come out of nowhere only because he doesn't say a whole lot. Very calm, quiet guy. He just does it on the floor every night, and I'll tell you, his talent has risen, and that's why we've got the NBA scouts here checking him out thoroughly.
John Killalay, who scouts for the Houston Rockets, is here. Ronnie Lester for the Bulls. Jerry West from the Lakers. Jump hook, not close. Lawrence again. Tip in. I think Popa got that one. Popa did get it. They'll give him credit. Right back is Donnie Marshall. Brian Fair, Donnie Marshall, Kevin Ollie, Hayward, and Danielle Marshall on the floor right now for the Huskies. 5th ranked in the country this week. Danielle, trapped, gets it back out, 13 on the shot clock. Back to Ollie, yep, he did.
He got caught, right. Connecticut taking their time, obviously a good lead, milking the clock somewhat, looking for the good one. Doing a great job. Ollie, a little too quick with the feet. See, where Connecticut wears that. They keep coming. Even when now they shot terribly the first half from the floor, but defensively they keep coming at you. They pick off the steal and they attack you.
Huskies 33% first half, 11 for 33. Miami 7 for 33, 22%. Popa, long hook. Woo.
The 15-foot hook. Donnie down the floor once again.
The breakaway is good. And this is a significant run by the Connecticut Huskies.
Talked about Danielle not getting out of the blocks quick, but Connecticut comes up with another answer in Donnie Marshall.
10-2 run, last 2:45. Rich challenging, blocked. Oh, brother. What a block by Hayward. Wow.
Hayward just put that one in the stands. It looked as if Rich might go over everyone. Here you see Torrey McCormick, nice entry pass. Watch Hayward coming up. He's the second guy. Puts it into the stands.
Let's date ourselves a little bit. The master of the block shot William Russell used to keep that in play, but that's effective nonetheless.
Exactly. That's what you like to see your player do. Just tip it to one of his teammates, but that time Hayward said, wait a minute, let me get this stuff out of here.
Inside to Popa. He's been making it happen. Not this time. Ollie. He's got numbers. Everybody running. Danielle. Danielle. Oh!
That's what they were waiting for. And you see Jerry West said, wait a minute. We better put another star next to that guy's name.
Yeah, buddy. 19 for Danielle. Back
Nice
door.
Nice
McCormick. That was changed. Popa. Couple tries. Fraser lost it. Fair. Ollie. Freebie. Connecticut smoking now. 63-39.
They get the ball down the floor probably as quick as any team in the country. You make a mistake, you're in trouble.
Connecticut loving in Miami is happening right now. 5:33 to go. Back after these messages. Miami Arena starting to look like Stores South.
No doubt about it. There's enough signs in this arena tonight. And of course, when Danielle sprints down the floor on the break and drills it, that's what they love. That's what they came to see. And you saw Jerry West looked over and say, this young guy can play the game.
14-2 run for Danielle and the Huskies. Probably going through Jerry West's mind right now as Husky fans eat this up now, because this is going to be it.
That's right. That's right. I'm sure they're going to get their tentacle. Here's almost a steal by Danielle.
Fraser can't get that one to fall. Put back, no good. And a foul on the play. Johnson bidding for a bucket. Hayward with the foul.
Miami has come into this game. They were ready to play. They got out to a quick start.
Nothing.
They just have not been able to put the ball in the basket consistently. And that's happened throughout the year. Out there, defensively, they work at it. They get enough offensive bounds. You see Len Hamlin, after that missed shot going in, he just put his hands on his head and said, wow, this is tough. Here in the foul line, they've struggled. But they do some of the other thing. They play strong defensively. They rebound the offensive board very well. They just can't complete it.
Toughest year, got to say, for Leonard probably in his coaching career. Davis. Lefty hook is good.
Nice lefty, and that time they completed offensive boards.
Ollie regroups.
Miami obviously playing man-to-man. They have to come out. Connecticut's going to execute, turn it over, use the clock.
Danielle Marshall. McCormick rebounds for Miami. 63-41. McCormick all the way, gave it up. Fraser went for the power dunk, missed. Davis there, the flip, no. Drop pass, nicely done. Ollie, numbers to the hoop. They wipe it off.
Kevin Ollie gets to the basket quickly that time. Step in by Miami. Charge called by Timmy Higgins, but Ollie is explosive. Here's
nice.
Donnie Marshall,
a
little behind the back pass. And watch Ollie, he gets to the hoop, but good positioning there by Miami. And they'll take over.
Give Parker a couple of courage points because he really got drilled on that one.
He did, and it's tough to...
Yeah, that pass went off of Davis's head. It's been a brutal night for Miami.
Exactly, and it's tough to get in front of Kevin Ollie. He's so quick.
Good Donnie Marshall up big.
All
22 points, and he's eating some wood. How about that with 4:05 to go? And they're going to wipe up that wet spot. But that says it all for the kind of player and the kind of person Donnie Marshall is. Man, up by 22, 4:07 to go, and he's diving on loose balls. Travis Knight, 4 fouls. He comes back in for Connecticut. Yeah. Hayward to the bench.
Another factor on the success of this Connecticut team, Dave, has been they understand their roles. You got Ray Allen averaging close to 15 a game coming off the bench. Brian Fair comes in as a shooter. He enjoys that role. He bangs away at it night after night.
Connecticut's best friend right now, the clock. And Johnson hammers Donnie Marshall. Two strong-willed kids there, boy.
Exactly, and Jamal says, hey, I didn't touch him there, but just being active and aggressive on the D.
Exciting contest at Pittsburgh. Panthers need to start rebounding. They have had BC's number, and I'm sure they're going crazy at the Spectrum tonight. Villanova bidding for its 7th straight win. 3:52 to go here at Miami Arena. 63-41 Connecticut. Huskies 22-3, number 5 in the country. 12-2 record in the Big East. That's first place, and they're 5-2 on the road.
Well, they're going to be tough to catch in the regular season as far as the conference championship goes.
Start looking ahead, Don. Where do you see them going if they run the table? Where do they get placed in the NCAA tournament? Sheffer, 3 in the air is good.
Give him any daylight, you're going to pay the price. I tell you, it looks as if they're going to be a #1 seed in one of the locations. Of course, probably going to be determined with the Big East Conference play.
25-point lead, and right now you got to start being concerned about Danielle Marshall. You don't need him to get hurt at any time, obviously, but with a 25-point lead against the 10th place team.
Exactly. I tell you, Miami is still battling. They're still coming at the ball.
Sheffer, another 3, wide open. Daron Sheffer. Oh man, 69-43.
Daron can find the open man as well as anyone in the league. But I'll tell you, when you leave him bare for any time period, he's going to drill it. You see Donnie leaving the floor. Donnie Marshall, great game for him this evening, start to finish.
Sure was. Donnie Marshall, 13 points, 5 for 12 shooting, 8 rebounds. Danielle Marshall still in the game. He's got 19 points, 9 rebounds. Daron Sheffer with those 2 threes. He's got 9 points. So right now, based on this performance and obviously the last few weeks, Connecticut looking all the more like a #1 seed. Knight, he's done. That's his 5th foul.
And Travis Knight picks up his 5th foul, but no doubt Connecticut, each game is so important. You come down here, you say, well, this is not an important game, but it is extremely important.
See Connecticut number 5 and other Big East teams in the top 25, Syracuse and Boston College.
Now, BC jumped into the top 25 by beating Syracuse, and they're on a roll. Those 3 teams are playing very well.
Another great year for the women at Connecticut. So the state of Connecticut got a lot to be proud of
They're
this
alive,
year.
and many of them are here this evening.
Fantastic year of basketball in Connecticut. Travis Knight, 0 points, but I tell you what, did some nice things in there defensively, passed the ball well.
Exactly.
Real good
Screens,
contributor.
He gives up his body, and you talk about understanding your role. And I think Travis Knight is the guy that understands that. He goes in, he gives Jimmy Calhoun some good minutes.
Putback is up and good. Lorenzo Pearson, freshman out of Chicago's Whitney Young High School.
Yeah, Lorenzo has good strength. He had some good moments last year as well from Leonard Hamilton's court.
Danielle's still in there. Long on this shot, 69-45, 2:20 to go, and Danielle Marshall still in the game. Rosa a little too high. Here's Sheffer, Danielle running. Had it taken away, stripped by Rosa, who knocked it off. Rosa had it stolen by Sheffer, but it went out of bounds.
Rosa hustling all the time, and Daron Sheffer, he has a knack for the ball. He has a great feel for the game.
And that'll do it for Danielle Marshall. Rudy Johnson comes in. Fabulous night for Danielle Marshall. 19 points. Jerry West.
And that's enough for Jerry West also. He took Danielle out of the game, and Jerry West leaves the arena.
Inside 2 minutes here from the arena in Miami. Chris Parker along the baseline. Boy, they dropped crowd. Foul on the play. Coming up for the Connecticut Huskies, they have Pittsburgh on Saturday, and he has a lot of reason to smile tonight. Danielle Marshall, fabulous game. Tuesday at Georgetown, and then Saturday against St. John's, Saturday, March 5, and then it's back to New York for the Big East tournament.
It should be a great tournament also, because a number of teams are picking up their game. In particular, Villanova, BC coming on, Syracuse playing great ball.
A lot of people are going to be rooting for Jimmy O'Brien at BC to get to the tournament. They haven't been there since '85.
Exactly. I think the win they had over Syracuse kind of solidified their position in the NCAA. It really did. That was a great win. They've beaten Syracuse twice this season.
Right.
And what he's done in that program, each year he's built it a little bit. He's gotten into the NIT tournament, and obviously Billy Curley and company.
Sheffer went for a three, couldn't get it. Johnson chased it down, fouled by Pearson.
I said Billy Curley and company want that NCAA bid. That's what they're gunning for.
BC with 18 wins coming into tonight's game. Daniel just shy of his average. Averaging close to 27 points in the Big East, right on target with the rebounds.
He's also have a string of 20 points plus in a number of games, and it's interesting. They've had 20 against Miami in the first game, 19 this game.
Kept alive, but Timpf comes up with it. Brad Timpf for Miami. Frazier. Do they give it to him? No. So Leonard Hamilton, another tough night. He'll be going to 0-15 in the Big East. 7-16 overall and 0-7 at home.
Well, he's had a tough go, and all he can hope is that the injuries heal. The experience of this season makes the kids understand that, hey, we don't want this to happen again, and we'll battle out of it.
You bet.
He's a battler, I'll tell you. He can coach. He's obviously known as a great recruiter, but he can coach the game. He's into it. He gets his kids ready. I think this year is just a very unfortunate season that he's been through.
Got a couple home games left. Providence and Syracuse will come to the arena, then go to Villanova Saturday, March 5, and that's not exactly the picnic.
Not easy. Doesn't get easy. And of course, those games are big for all the opponents that he's going to be playing against.
Because they're looking for W's.
Sure.
Final 108. Parker intercepts. Miami takes control.
Miami still running up the floor, playing hard, and I think this all comes from Leonard. He's a battler, and his kids have not stopped working despite having a tough game.
King takes over. Here's Thomas for Connecticut. Lets her rip. Why not? Got the three. Marcus Thomas out of Newcastle High School.
Well, the starters on the bench love to see the guy come off the bench and stick that three.
I think it was great about it. He was not shy. Grew up in Houston. Newcastle High School, Western PA. Willingham's third foul. Final 36.9 seconds. So yesterday, the Huskies in Atlanta. Jim Calhoun wanted to keep everybody focused. Said the kids went to a restaurant, Pity Pat's Porch. Good down-home Southern cooking. Everybody chowed down, and no worse for wear. Thomas breaking out for Connecticut. Nice pass. Johnson.
Rudy Johnson, quickness and defense, fills the lane, and Connecticut is still pushing the ball up the floor.
That shot is short. Allen takes control for Connecticut. Final 20 seconds coming up. A lot of Husky fans, many of the Dom Perno fan club down here too.
There's a number of
catching up with a lot of people
here, and of course, many Connecticut people are in this area, and they had a great contingent come down every year. They love the Huskies, and they'll love them even more.
Cormac's bid is no good. Willingham, Allen didn't beat the buzzer. It was a nice-looking shot, but he did not beat the buzzer.
Willingham said, hey, I want that assist, and you see Danielle all smiles, and rightly so. Another great ball game.
Danielle Marshall. A little slow in the first half, but he came on big in the second half. 19 points for Danielle, 13 for Donnie. As the Connecticut Huskies improve their record to 23-3, 13-2 in the Big East. Another win for the number 5 Connecticut Huskies here at Miami Arena. The final 74-49 UConn. We'll be back for a couple of player interviews right after these messages. A satisfying night for Donyell Marshall. Terrific second half to finish with 19 points, and the Huskies go on to knock off the Miami Hurricanes 74-49. Donyell and Jim Calhoun standing by right now with Dom Perno.
First of all, Donyell, slow start, but the D once again. What do you think?
You know, we slow started again for the fifth game in a row, but we're going to try to stop that sooner or later. It's going to catch up to us. But second half, we came out and played real good defense. We held them to 30% shooting, and that's what started our fast break. And once we started fast breaking, I think we tired them out a lot.
Another fantastic game. You guys are putting it together both defensively and offensively, and I saw the coach walking around Miami a little bit. He was sweating his brains out. Jimmy, you have to feel a little better right now.
Yeah, tough place to come into. Different atmosphere than we're used to playing. Obviously, they're a very loose basketball team. They played very well early, but I think our defense for 40 minutes tonight. I would say offensively, we probably got to go in the second half, but Dom, I think first 40 minutes was good defense. First 40 minutes.
Exactly. I'll tell you, these games will drive you crazy, but I'll tell you both, great job. Keep it going. Back to you, Dave.
All right, Dom, thank you. Thank you to Jimmy and to Donyell. So the final from the Miami Arena. Connecticut Huskies won it by the score of 74-49. Along with Dom Perno, I'm Dave Sims. Thanks for joining us this evening. Connecticut a victor one more time. The number 5 team in the nation, now 13-2 in the Big East Conference. Proceeding has been a Big East Conference Television Network production. Have a good evening, everyone.